And good evening. Welcome to another edition of Coach's Corner here from the Highliner Activity Network and the Highliner Activity Center here in Valley City. And it is a full-packed show tonight. And wrestling is going to be the theme, at least for the first half of the show. Express wrestling, to be exact, as we have got a plethora of wrestlers, coaches, and parents that are going to be in studio here tonight. We're starting off with the Bulow family. We're going to start off with Mom and Dad, Aaron Bulow and Tara Bulow. Tara, guys, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Well, 4 boys. Aaron, I'll start with you. Your 4 sons in Express Wrestling. What was the interest? Why Express Wrestling?
Not really sure how it all started, but we're glad it did because it's a lot of fun. And we've just learned through the 3 years, I think, that we've been here. Mm-hmm. It's a great sport, a great way to teach a lot of character, and we loved it.
I'll ask you this. Did the boys say, hey, we want to do this? Did you say, what would you like to do? Do you want to do wrestling? How did they decide on this?
Yeah, actually a friend invited us, and, Matt and Ryan, they're so good about just say, hey, come try it out for a night. So we did, and I remember back to that first practice, I remember thinking, whoa, this is a little crazy. But then I thought, you know what? This is where we need to be with 4 boys.
And young age. I mean, what are the ages of your sons?
They are, I got to look at them here as I count down.
Raise your hand as you're
13, 11, they're holding me fingers. 8, and 6.
I love it. They were cueing Mom. They were reminding her. Remember, Mom, when we had 13, 11, 8, and 6? And it started with your oldest, obviously, and Aaron asked you this. Did the other 3 just like, hey, I want to do that too? And they probably came and watched matches or so forth. Did they say, I want to do that too?
Well, if I remember correctly, it was the 3 older ones that we started with, right?
Yeah.
We just
they were
threw them all in.
Okay.
And they all loved it. I mean, that's what they do at home all the time anyway, so
yeah,
might as well do it correctly.
They roughhouse, as we would call it when they would roughhouse. Now you get to do it on a mat.
Yeah.
As a family, we talk about the family atmosphere, Tara. That is something, too, that maybe drew you to this, is the family atmosphere that is built with Express Wrestling?
Yeah, I mean, we were new. We knew nothing about wrestling at all. Neither of us had wrestling in the schools that we went to, so we knew nothing. And we felt right at home right away. All the families who had been in it for lots of years, they bring you in, they teach you how to be a wrestling parent.
Yeah. And what is it like being a wrestling parent?
Oh my goodness, it's nerve-wracking.
Nerve-wracking, traveling, and lots of long days too. But rewarding, Aaron. Has it been? Can you say that that's the bottom line too?
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest thing that I like about wrestling as a sport, especially as a parent, you're really brought in kind of as a coach. Whereas other sports, they have their playbooks, they have their way of doing things, and wrestling is, we're both all involved, and you can be at the practice all the time, pretty much be mat side almost all the matches, and you just get to be a major part of what your kids are doing.
And being that there was, you mentioned no wrestling in your schools that you guys went to, there's a little trust that goes on here too, isn't there? As far as you got to trust that Ryan and Matt know knowing what they're doing.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're such genuine people. We knew they were in good hands from the beginning. So,
well, we're going to meet those wrestlers. We've got again the 4 Bulow boys are going to be joining us. We'll take the 2 oldest, the 13 and the 11. So, gentlemen, if you're going to, Aaron, Tara, thanks again for joining us. Appreciate it. As we're now going to bring in the 2 oldest boys, and they're going to join us here for more. Again, Express Wrestling is kind of the big topic of conversation tonight on Coach's Corner. Matt Marsh and Ron Coggin are also here, and we're going to be talking with them a little bit later on. But now we're talking with half of the Bulow contingent as far as the boys are concerned, the 2 oldest. And you are, what is your name? Andon. You are the 13-year-old. And? Bowen. So, hey, you did go A, B, C, D. They did do it right with Conley and Decker, the 2 youngest. But now, Anton, let's start with you. What weight class do you wrestle at?
182.
182. How do you like this? You've been doing it, 3 years now? How do you like doing this?
It's a lot of fun.
Have any specific technique that you like to utilize or not?
No, not really. I just try it all.
You just get out there, just get out there and have fun. What have you learned from Express Wrestling in your 3 years? Specifically in the wrestling, about wrestling in particular, because you probably didn't know anything about it really when you got started, right?
Yeah. I guess one thing that I've learned for sure is how to wrestle.
Right.
And then also to try hard, especially when it matters most.
Vaughn, how about you? What weight class do you wrestle at?
78.
You're at 78. Okay. Do you have any special technique, or at your weight classes just get out there and throw the kid around the mat a little bit?
Yeah.
Do you like doing that?
Yeah.
And like your mom and dad said, you do it at home. So do you kind of throw these guys around too and try new things on your brothers?
Yeah.
How about, and Anton, I'll ask you this and you both can answer. Is there a little friendly rivalry with the four of you?
Sometimes it can get a little bit unfriendly, but most of the time, yeah.
I'd have to ask Mom and Dad how the furniture has been holding up here in the. But I guess the last question for you guys, and we'll bring your other two brothers in. What do you want to do? Do you want to keep doing this? Is this something you want to do? As you get in at 13, you're probably going to be getting into your middle school, and as you keep doing this is throughout your high school career.
Yeah, I think I would definitely do that.
Bowen, how about you, buddy?
Definitely.
Definitely. You want to keep doing this. All right. Well, gentlemen, I appreciate you joining us. Continued success. And now we'll get with Conley and Decker, our next two. Come on over, fellas. Now we got the 8-year-old and the 6-year-old. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. And now we got the next two guys coming in. So I'm going to say Conley and Decker, right? What weight class do you wrestle, buddy?
77.
So 77 is where you're at. How about you, Decker? What weight class do you wrestle? You know?
56.
56. Okay. I'll ask you first. How do you like doing this? This is kind of fun. You like wrestling for express when you're in practice and at tournaments and stuff?
Yeah.
Is there anything really the biggest thing you think is the most fun?
Getting a big trophy.
Getting a trophy? Have you got one yet? You did, huh? How about you, Conley? What do you like about wrestling?
Basically everything.
Everything? Okay. And you got a trophy too. How have you been doing?
Good.
You've been doing pretty good. Is this something you think both of you like to keep doing for a little while longer?
Yeah.
And how about watching your older brothers? Has that been something? Because it looks like the three of you started. You and your two older brothers started, and then Decker, you kind of came in next. Is that you've been watching them and say, hey, I want to do that too? Have you? Do you talk to them? Hey, maybe like, what do you kind of think can I do here? Maybe use them as a coach or not?
No.
No, you just do it yourself, right? I like that. How about you? Do you ask them for advice? You just like go out there and do your own thing?
I don't really ask them for advice.
You got coaches you can ask, right? Too. You can with Matt and Ryan. So, do you have a goal, Decker? Did you have a specific goal you'd really like to achieve in wrestling?
Yeah, mostly first place.
You want to get that first place. You want to win a state championship eventually? How about you, Conley?
Yeah, same. Win a championship.
You win that championship and get that big trophy and get a little medal. Well, guys, I like the future of wrestling with you, and I appreciate you coming over and talking with us, and continued good success with you guys. Appreciate it. That is Conley, Decker. We have Bowen and Andon Bulow. Of course, Mom and Dad, Aaron and Tara, the Bulow family, 4 brothers in Express Wrestling. And we're going to continue with that Express Wrestling theme here on Coach's Corner as the Coughlin family will be joining us next. This is the Coach's Corner on the Highline Activity Network.
Well, anybody's welcome to
Back
join.
here on the Highland Activity Network, Coach's Corner on his Wednesday night. And again, just a reminder, if you're watching this live here on the Highland Activity Network on PlaySite, there is a little bit of an audio lag behind the video, but then when you watch it archived on YouTube later on, everything will be synced up and it will be perfect. But it's a little bit of a delay here. It's kind of like those 1950s Japanese Godzilla movies, but we'll be back synced up when it's live on YouTube. Continuing with the Express Wrestling theme tonight, Ryan Conklin, one of the coaches, joining us, and also a dad of three wrestlers.
Yep.
You got the three on your side, and Ryan, let's just talking about that family thing. Obviously, you were a wrestler when you were going through high school, and when Express Wrestling came along, is that kind of something you said, yeah, I'd like to see my boys get into this?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Chase was in kindergarten. I got the registration form, came home, and I was like, hey, do you want to try wrestling? And he said, yeah. So everything's been history after that.
And so Carter followed suit, seeing what Chase did.
Very next year, we got Carter into it, and and then just last year I got my daughter into it. So,
and that was something we'll talk to Matt's daughter Catherine, a state champ. We'll talk with her, as is Chase. We'll talk with him here in a minute. But you talk about the girls and how much girls wrestling is really exploded really here in North Dakota.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, we didn't really have very many girls. I think we had one girl in our room, and now we have, I don't know, in the teens, 20 maybe. And I mean, most of them are really young, but if we can keep them wrestling, we could have a pretty good girls team moving forward in the high school room.
And was your daughter like that too? After seeing the older boys, she said, "I can do that too." And then she can go after them at home.
No, not really.
No.
she just, I think she more joined because all of her friends kind of joined. So,
Sure.
So she likes going to practice and kind of playing with her friends and wrestling and sometimes wrestling in practice. And she hasn't really went to any tournaments yet and actually wrestled at them. She goes and watches her brother. So.
Well, as far as for you and the Conklin family, wrestling obviously is a big thing, and as is for the Marsh family too. Is there a lot of pride that you have in watching your family go through this? Your three kids.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, I feel it's just a lot of pride watching them wrestle and win and even lose sometimes, and how they handle it. And, yeah, it's a lot of pride.
And life lessons that they learn, too. Isn't that something you and Matt really kind of to help focus on a little bit with the guys and gals?
Yes, yeah. Winning's easy, losing's hard, and how do you handle losses is kind of more important than how you handle the wins.
Okay, well, we're going to get the two boys now, Carter and Chase, so we'll get them over here. And Ryan, again, continued success, and thanks again for joining us, and thanks for bringing in the three kids to add to Express Wrestling as well.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't all you. Your wife had little something to do with it.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, no problem.
All right, thank you, Ryan. You bet. Chase, Carter, come on over, fellas. The two Conklin boys joining us here. You got a grin on your face. You just look mischievous there, Chase. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, congratulations on the championship. Now, last was a couple weekends ago, or last weekend. It was the North Dakota USA Wrestling State Tournament that was in Bismarck, and Valley City had three state champs, and we've got two of them with us here tonight. One is sitting here to my left as Chase. What weight class did you win it at, bud?
92.
92? Did you feel you were going to wrestle good enough to win that state championship?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite move or not?
Yeah.
What is it?
Twister.
You like the twister. Can you explain that a little bit for those of us that aren't quite sure, other than outside of the tornado reference? What is a twister?
You grab his head and you put your whole arm under his arm.
Okay.
And then you roll over your back and you put him on his back, and then it's like a cow catcher, but the other way.
Okay. Is that your go-to move? Is that your pinning combination?
Yeah.
But now, hopefully, we haven't let out any secrets here. So, people are going to wrestle you. Oh, wait a minute. He's a twister guy. But you might have to change that down the road. Chase, how about you? What weight class do you wrestle at, buddy?
70.
70. And do you have a move that you like to do?
Yeah, cow
Or
catcher.
Carter and Chase. I'm sorry about that. Carter. What's your move that you like to do?
A cow catcher.
A cow catcher. So now he mentioned the twister. Can you kind of tell us a little bit of what that cow catcher is?
It's basically the
I could have you demonstrate, but we don't have enough room here.
other opposite of a twister.
It is.
You just put your hand on their chin and then put your arm over their arm and
Okay.
put them on their back.
Put them on their back. That's your move? That's what you like to go to. And there are other moves, obviously, but is that the one you feel you do the best? Same with you on the twister. That's the kind of the one you do the best, Chase.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got this state. You've won some championships here in recently. Coming off the state championships. Is this something you really feel that you want to do all the way through high school and maybe rack up a few state titles?
Yeah.
Do you get a chance? Both you guys, asked both of you. Quake Rebo was an express wrestler. Do you get a chance to talk with him a little bit, and him and Colton and what they do?
Yeah.
Do they come into the wrestling room and talk to you guys?
Yeah.
What are kind of some of the things that they tell you? That you can tell us.
They say that you have to work really hard, and he practices with me a lot.
Okay. So is that Carter? When you talk to these guys, do you ask them questions, or do you just kind of let them coach you? When you talk to those guys and the other coaches too, do you ask questions?
Yeah, sometimes when the coaches show moves, I kind of forget, and then I ask questions about it.
How to do it, or what you just that's a lot of people do that. Trust me, a lot of people do that. How about championships for you, Chase? Is that something you're looking to get? Or Carter, I'm sorry, I'm going to get you two mixed up. I'll get you right eventually. Carter.
Yeah, I want to go for first, but I took third. I lost my first one and then won 6 matches in a row and then lost my 7th.
But took third. Good job. So now, when you watch your older brother, do you is that something you say, I want to do what he does too? What's the age difference between the two of you? How old are you?
12.
You're 12.
9.
You're 9. You had to think about it there. You're not to my age yet. You forget your age when you get to my age. Not at your age now. So when you look at when you watch him, do you like to wrestle each other? Do you kind of practice at home or in the wrestling room with one another too?
Yeah.
But now you each know what the other's move is. Do you have to do something different?
No.
You do. Do you try something different when you're wrestling with your brother? I'll ask you that, Chase. You try some maybe experiment some things.
Sometimes, but I usually just twist her.
You just do it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, gentlemen, I appreciate you coming by and talking with us. And Chase, again, congratulations on your state championship. And Carter, good job on third place. We'll look for more state championships with you guys as we get down the road. But thanks for joining us. That is Carter and Chase Coughlin. Yeah, you don't want to get on? You want Dad to come with you? All right, Dad will come with. We'll get Sister on here. Gentlemen, thanks very much. We'll pass the headsets on to Dad and Sister. You don't want to get on? You sure? Okay, I won't force you. We're going to be back and continue our Express Wrestling theme here tonight. It is Coach's Corner on the Highlander Activity Network. Back here on the Highlight Activity Network, Coach's Corner here on this Wednesday night. The family theme and Express Wrestling theme is what we're talking about. And now we're joined by the Gubroods, Brooke Gubrood and Brian Gubrood joining us here, Mom and Dad of Holt, and he will be here in just a minute. And Brooke, we'll start with you. As a wrestling mom, how's it been watching your son out there?
It's been awesome just finding a sport that he has enjoyed. He's still young, but tried a lot of different activities, and this has really been one that's just kind of fit for him.
Is it, Brian, I'll ask you, did you wrestle in school?
No, I know nothing about wrestling.
So that's something, too, I want to, I know that we heard that, too, from the Bulows, not wrestling yourselves. But Holt kind of came to you. I'll ask you that, Brian. Did he just say, hey, let's try this? Or
We got a flyer from school, and we just, like any other sport, we just say, hey, do you want to try this? And he says yes to just about all of it.
Right.
And some he has really liked, and some he doesn't like so much, but we tried wrestling, and he absolutely loves it.
And I'll ask you this too, Brooke, the family atmosphere, it seems like that Matt and Ryan and all of Express Wrestling, as parents, how appreciative are you of that?
Absolutely. We knew both of them just in the community and knew they were great people. And so I think we really fell in love with it after Brian took Holt to a tournament in Grand Forks, and it was just the atmosphere of the families being together and the older kids kind of coming down and being role models for Holt and cheering him on the mat and just making that connection for him and then us with the families. And it's really a family atmosphere, and everybody is involved. And
Brian, as far as the commitment that you see Ryan and Matt put into this, that's got to be very satisfying for you as a parent.
Oh, God, yeah. They spend a lot of time, not only in the room, but after hours and emails and going to tournaments, and they are great.
Is it something you are saying, this was the right decision?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. They're role models for the kids. I mean, even off the wrestling mat, Holt was in mutton busting, and as they were walking off of the rodeo arena, Matt is at the end giving him a high five, and Holt is giving him a big hug. So it's more than just the coach of the wrestling. It's just a role model in life.
Did he want to pin the mutton?
He did win, but...
Well, guys, I appreciate you joining us here and, of course, bringing more family atmosphere to Express Wrestling. And thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Holt, where'd he go? Come on, buddy. He's ready to go. He even looks like a mutton buster there. We got Holt joining us here. All right. Again, Mom Brooke and Dad Brian Gubrud, and now Holt joining us. How you doing?
Good.
Doing good. What weight do you wrestle?
49 pounds.
49 pounds? All right. Now, do you like doing this? Has this been something that's been kind of fun for you?
Yeah.
And as Mom and Dad said, they were looking for something that fit. Did you just kind of, I want to go out there and give this a try?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it?
1 year.
Is this your first year?
Yeah.
And you like it and you want to keep doing it?
Yeah.
How about your teammates? Some of the guys we've been talking to here tonight.
Yeah.
You like them?
Yeah.
How old are you?
7.
You're 7? Okay, so 7, getting started doing this. I have to ask about mutton busting. Have you done that before?
Yeah, I've done it for 3 years.
Okay.
And I won my last year, and I am done with it because back in March it was my last year.
Okay, but you won, right? You're a champion?
Mm-hmm.
Champion mutton buster, huh? Did you want to maybe take that mutton and wrestle him a little bit or not?
No.
Riding him was enough, right?
Yeah.
That was good enough. So what do you like most about wrestling?
That my coaches are there to be by me while I wrestle, and it's pretty fun.
Okay. Do you have any special thing? You just like to roll around and pin your opponent, right? Yeah. That's what you like to do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Holt, thank you very much for joining us, and continued success with Express Wrestling, buddy.
Yeah.
You bet. That is Holt Gubrud joining us. We'll be back with more Express Wrestling, and also come up a little later on in the show, we're going to talk speech and baseball on tonight's edition of Coach's Corner on the Highline Activity Network. Back here on Coach's Corner from the Highliner Activity Network and the Highliner Activity Center. And again, Express Wrestling has been the theme here tonight. And now we are joined by the Marsh family. And wrestling, as we've heard from two families, they didn't wrestle, they didn't come from wrestling schools, and they kind of got this started. But it's kind of been in your blood, Matt, wrestling, isn't it?
You could say that.
And some of that blood's been on the mat, too. But Matt and Lacey at Marsh joining us. And Matt, I guess, first off, same question that I kind of asked Ryan. With Express Wrestling, just getting the kids involved in this, your kids specifically.
That's a lot of pride. It's fun. It's time consuming, but it's fun. It's worth it. In the long run, it'll be worth it too.
And Lacey, as a mom, did you come from a wrestling family?
Not at all.
Not at all. Did you know what you were getting into when you got?
Not at all. But I've really come to love it too, and we look forward to wrestling season starting, and it's just kind of go full speed ahead the whole time, and but it's lots of fun. So.
And once wrestling starts, usually it's around October, November when you start practice, but you're going into the summer, aren't you?
Yep. Well, right now we have Freestyle and Greco-Roman practice going on.
Okay.
Our regular season is over with. We had our state tournament here 2 weekends ago. Mm-hmm. We had 39 kids compete out there between the individual and the 2 dual teams that we had.
And Lacey, when you get some of these new moms and dads, and moms in particular, do you kind of take a little bit of a, here's what to expect, and maybe talk with them, let them know what to expect as an express wrestling mom?
Yes, we do a good job of trying to get together and kind of talk about what the scoring means and what to expect at tournaments. The first tournament I ever went to, I walked out of there with my eyes this big, and it's kind of like organized chaos. And I think just trying to let everybody new coming in know that that's what this is, and kind of what to expect is, I hope, helping them want to stay and keep their kids involved in our program.
And finding something that your kids enjoy doing is always seems to be tough for a parent. You want to get your kids to do something that they enjoy. I don't think that seems to be a problem with your kids, is it?
No, not at all. They love wrestling.
And it probably comes from dad, kind of filters down with dad. And Matt, talking with Catherine, your daughter Catherine in it, a state champ, how much, we talked with Ron about this, girls wrestling, how this has improved. And now I see there are camps that are girls-only camps. You as a dad of a daughter, not as a coach, but as the father of a daughter, how appreciative are you of that, something like that, and the explosion of girls wrestling?
Extremely. Gives not just my daughter, but all the other girls around opportunities that they've never had before, that weren't available to them. And that they had to travel states away to get to.
And I know at the college level, Canada was where a lot of colleges around here had to go, but now it's become bigger in the United States. Of course, we have a young lady that's wrestling University of Jamestown, and Emma Milkey. What's coming up this summer? You got camps and stuff coming up this summer now?
Yep, we have all kinds of camps. The whole month of June is consumed with wrestling camps throughout the whole state of North Dakota. They go into July. There's some in August. There's actually some going on in Fargo in May. They're just clinics going on. They get a lot of the NDSU wrestlers through the NIL agreements to put on some camps where they can make some money to help better themselves. The athletes to better themselves. Sure. There's some big names coming to North Dakota this summer. The girls camp out in Bismarck. Rana Gross. She's on the Olympic circuit or the international circuit. She's coming to Bismarck to put on the girls only camp. The Steiner brothers, they're Bismarck natives. Yep. They were Iowa Hawkeyes. They were on the international circuit. They're putting on camps in Carrington, Fargo, and Bismarck. There's going to be some high power wrestling going on in North Dakota this summer.
And Lacey, when you found out Catherine was going to be doing express wrestling, what was your initial reaction?
Excitement. But I think I've been telling Matt since Catherine was a baby that she might just be his best wrestler. So I was not at all surprised. She's been watching her brother wrestle since she was tiny. And the first time Matt said, "You want to go to wrestling practice? You want to start?" She's like, "Yeah, when?" So, it's been fun to see her grow and take after her brother and wrestle, watch them wrestling at home too.
It's not a surprise that she's a state champ?
I don't know if it was a surprise, but it was very exciting and made us really proud.
Well, we're going to get those two Marshes over here now. Catherine, you ready to come over and talk with me now? All right, we're going to get Catherine and Wyatt. But Matt, Lacey, again, thanks very much for joining us, and continued success with Express Wrestling.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
That is Lacey and Matt March joining us here. Now we're going to get the two March kids coming in, and again, we've got speech coming up. We're going to be talking with the East Region Championship speech coach and one of the speech competitors, Maddy Klabo and Abby Ingstad coming up here in just a moment. But now we got the Marsh siblings with Wyatt and Catherine. Wyatt, I'll start with you. What weight class you go at?
84.
Are you at 84? Do you have any particular move you like?
Cowcatcher, twister.
So you kind of like the Coggins. You like that cow. Is that kind of an easy move for you? Okay, all right. Now, when Sister Catherine started wrestling, was that kind of cool to have your sister come and join?
Yeah.
Was it a little different though? But fun, wasn't it? Oh no, you can tell the truth here. You can no wrestling here now.
Why? Kinda.
So it was kind of fun though, right? A little bit. At least have your sister joining you. Okay, I know you. I trust you on that. Catherine, what weight do you wrestle at?
58.
58. Well, congratulations on your state championship. Was that kind of exciting?
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel you wrestled pretty well to get that state championship?
Yeah.
And was that your goal too? When you got in, you're like, Mom, Dad, I'm going to do this. So when you won that title match, what did you jump up and down? What was your reaction? Did you get really excited?
Yeah.
Does it mean you want to do it again? You want to win more championships and more trophies? And going to practice with Dad, was that kind of what reason why you started wrestling? You kind of went to practice and watched it. I'm gonna do that. So you want to stick with it all the way through high. How old are you, Catherine?
6.
You're 6.
Really, almost 7.
Almost 7. When's your birthday?
April 24th.
Oh, it's coming up. It's coming up. All right. So you're going to be a whole 7 coming up here in a couple of weeks, in 3 weeks. Well, good deal. Well, Catherine and Wyatt, again, guys, thanks for joining us. And Catherine, again, congratulations on your state championship wrestler. How many more do you think you got in you? How many more state championships you're going to get? A whole bunch? 5, 6, 7, 8? More than that? So why stop at 1, right?
Yeah.
All right. Guys, thanks very much for joining us. We appreciate it, and good luck next time you wrestle. That's Catherine and Wyatt Marsh joining us here. We will be back, and we have got speech is right around the corner. We're going to be talking with speech coach and Maddy Klabo joining us, along with Abby Ingstad. That's on the way next with Coach's Corner here on the Highliner Activity Network.
Alrighty, we are back on the Highliner Activity Network with some more Coach's Corner. I'm Maddy Klabo. I am a competitor for the speech team, and I'm here with Abby Ingstad, the speech and debate coach here for Valley City High School. How's it going tonight?
I'm good. Busy, but good.
Glad to hear it. Alrighty, so we were fortunate enough to be East Region champions, doing well for ourselves this year. How did EDC go?
EDC went just about as well as it could go for us. We had a very, very good day. Yep. I could not have really expected any more out of my kids or any of you guys, so I think all in all I'm pretty pleased. I think we're all pretty happy with how things went. We ended up having 8 event champions and 36 total qualifiers to the state meet this weekend, which is the most of any other team in the state, so hopefully we have a good state tournament.
That's awesome. As a competitor, I can say that, the success was palpable and was very exciting to be just a part of that team. Again, obviously coached by Miss Abby here. So as we're moving into state out of the EDC region, what are we kind of looking forward to?
I don't know. I always get excited towards the end of the season because usually energy tends to just snowball and peak at state and NSDA qualifiers for us. So postseason's usually very exciting for us. EDC is usually a little more stressful for me going into, but once we get through EDC, I'm like, okay, I remember how postseason tournaments go now. We're okay. So now that we've got one under our belts, it's just kind of full steam ahead until we're done, and then we gear up for nationals, so we don't really slow down.
Yeah, I think that makes total sense. The excitement just on our team in the past weeks. We see people just like logging in for every practice time that they can. They're like, I just want to make sure that I'm hardened and ready to go for state. And it's honestly such a cool energy to be a part of for all these years. So, kind of thank you for trying to keep that steamroll going. A question you kind of mentioned a little bit, NSDA qualifiers. I feel like maybe a lot of our listeners kind of wouldn't understand what NSDA qualifiers is. So could you explain that a little bit?
So there are many districts for NSDA, the National Speech and Debate Association, in the country. North Dakota only has one because we have little population numbers compared to some other states. So we have one district. It's the North Dakota Rough Rider District, and our district qualifier, which would put kids in a position where they can compete at the national tournament in June, is coming up on the 11th and 12th of April. So we have state on the 9th, and then we leave Sunday night for NSDA qualifiers on the 10th, and then 11th and 12th are qualifiers. And then we have nationals. If we have anybody qualify, we have nationals from the 13th to the 19th of June in Louisville, Kentucky. So that's what we're looking. We're not really that close to being done, but we are winding down our high school activities association season. So exciting stuff.
That's very fair. NSDAs, I feel like, it's kind of like the underbelly. Like, people kind of don't know that it's happening, and then it's there. And state weekend is always just absolutely jam-packed with speech. It's kind of you don't really get a break, but that's, I feel like, a lot of the fun of it. It's
well,
just
and
kind of
so many of you guys, because of COVID, you're actually the only member of our team that has ever competed at a normal national qualifier. So most of our team is like, wait, we go right after state? And I'm like, yes, we go right after state. This is how we always do it. And they're like, okay. And Maddy's like, yeah, this is how we always do it. And we're like, no, actually, most of you haven't ever competed. So it's nice to be back to normal.
It's very nice to be back to normal, or to be able to have kind of things not as staggered as they were. I mean, this weekend's going to be absolutely bananas. Like, I don't know if there's a word that you could even use to describe what this weekend is going to be like, but from my memories of being a 15-year-old child, it should be a huge, like, energy, excitement boost. My favorite part was always, it's kind of like a speech vacation. You get to hang out with all the kids that are, like, super passionate about this activity, and the coaches are just like, yeah, man, let's have a good time. Let's, like, do our best and compete. And yeah, I can just, like, I know what the experience is like from our level. I'm sure that the excitement is palpable for you guys over there. So as we're kind of winding down our North Dakota High School Activities Association season, are there things that you want students to remember as we enter the end of our season?
I don't know. I think the number one thing for me is, while it is always nice to walk away with titles and championships and great placements and that type of thing, like, far more important thing about this activity for me is that we teach kids how to use their voices. And as Nick Lee said to me, and as I say to you guys, you have one voice, let it be heard. Use what you have inside of you to do good, and advocate for the things that need to be advocated for. Stand up for what you believe in, and keep using it even after you're gone for you. But yeah, use your voice. Stand up for what you believe. That's what I tell my kids.
I think that if there was a sentiment that would leave any senior in high school crying, I think it would be that one. The knowledge and the work that a group of people this passionate can put into a season that's all about communication and advocating and working with adults is unmatched. I was able to talk about it a little bit more at length the last time I spoke with Paul, but just thanks for this season. Appreciate it. That's kind of where we're at. So as we are moving out of EDC, we will look back. Hopefully we'll be back in the future to talk about state and kind of how that went and what we're looking forward to moving on. So thanks so much for being here, Abby. I appreciate the interview. And we'll be back with some more Coaches Corner on the Highliner Activities Network.
Back here on the Highliner Activity Network, and again, my thanks to my co-host, Maddy, Klabo, and talking with Abby Ingstad about the speech. And again, a reminder, there is a little bit of an audio lag here tonight. If you're watching live on our playsite.com on the Highliner Activity Network, a little bit of an audio lag, but it will all be synced up when we archive it on YouTube a little bit later on. Now we're going to talk baseball, Highliner baseball. They're off, have their first game of the season on Monday. Both of RC and JB had a chance to play the Thompson Tommies. And Coach Seth Soderholm joining us. Coach, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Fantastic. pretty good opponent the first time around. A team, I think, maybe 2-3 years removed from a state championship. Good baseball up there in Thompson. And you being from New Rockford, were you in their region?
Not in the region, but we usually had a non-conference with them. They're pretty good. When I was in high school is when they started to get pretty good in football, basketball, baseball. We played them in pretty much everything. They're always competitive and always at top of Class B.
6-3 was the final on the varsity. The JV wins 8-7, but to the varsity game, 6-3. But really, overall, Coach, pitching I thought looked pretty well on Monday night.
Yeah, we had some guys come out there and compete. It was good, getting off a mound. It was pretty cold. A little bit too many 3-ball counts. We were kind of behind, and it seemed like every batter. That was something I'd like to improve on. Obviously, get ahead early, stay ahead. But you can't complain too much being the first time you're competing outside.
And when it's cold, your defense, they want your pitchers to throw strikes because it's cold out here. Because your mind can wander, can't it?
Oh yeah. You're more worried about staying warm than getting the ball at some point. You're trying to keep those hands warm, and if you're going a long time without the ball, your mind does start wandering.
First game of the year, though, they've had a chance to see some live pitching in practice, but now you're seeing someone that's trying to get them out, not just giving them BP fastballs. How do you feel offensively the guys look?
Good, yeah. We had, I think, what did we have, like 5 or 6 hits?
Yep.
Can't complain about that. Also, alongside, we had a lot of barrels, a lot of balls at guys that were outs, and there's a few that probably would have burnt outfielders if it wasn't for the wind blowing 30 miles an hour in.
Yeah.
But can't complain. That was one thing. We didn't stress as highly as pitching and playing defense in these first 2 weeks of practice. We've kind of just, that'll take care of itself eventually. So I was very, very glad to see that we were hitting the ball hard and making things happen on offense.
And the JV got a chance to get out there, and they actually come up with an 8-7 win, and a game where I think they got 5 runs on the bottom of the 4th inning of the 5-inning game and win 8-7, and getting the JVers out there too, and a chance to compete against a team like Thompson has to be, as you and Coach Sean gotta like to seeing that.
Yeah, they came out there and they competed. A lot of them just fearless. They got out there and they were ready to go. Not a nerve in them. Just wanted to get the ball, wanted to hit it, wanted to field it. And it was good to see. I was very proud of it.
And actually, when the third out was made, the reaction of a couple of guys like they just won the World Series.
Oh yeah. They were. Some of them were shocked, I guess.
But a win, they'll take it. 8-7 was the final on the junior varsity. Again, 6-3 was the varsity. But now we're in the throngs of the holding pattern. Does look like we'll get Monday night game with Wahpeton. That was supposed to be Tuesday, but now it'll be Monday. Now that'll be just varsity.
Yep. 2 varsity, a 7 and a 5.
Getting a chance for EDC to get some EDC guys opponent. What's your philosophy now when you get that 7 and a 5, 2 varsity games? Get some kids in that second game that maybe won't get in the first game, and what kind of a philosophy are you looking at on Monday night?
Well, the good thing for us is we have we kind of rotate between 11 and 12 guys on varsity, so we don't really have to worry about that. Just be a couple guys sitting in that second one, and they'll probably get a pinch hit. We don't have to worry about guys just sitting there and not getting better. There'll be reps, and I just hope guys take advantage of it in that second one.
And arms too. You in the early part of the season, especially, it's key to have a lot of pitching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you can get as many guys thrown off a mound that can throw strikes and just be competitive in and around the zone, that's all you can ask for.
Well, I know Robert Fisher. He pitched on Monday night, and he was coming off an injury in basketball, I think, on his shooting hand too, on his right hand. So it was good to see him to get out there and throw.
Yeah, he went out there and he competed. That's all you can ask for. He did a good job. I think he threw like 50 pitches, and I think he had probably our best strike percentage. I was looking at stats, so that's good.
Throwing the ball over the strike zone, that's the key, isn't it?
Yep, that's all I want. Keep our defense active,
and keep the guys on the balls of their feet, not on their heels.
Exactly.
And you won't see the errors as you move forward. Now, Seth, what just in these now next week? Hopefully you'll get a couple of games in. Hopefully, but we'll worry about Monday night first. As you get these first couple of weeks in, the spring training, if you will, these early games, what is your philosophy of what do you want to get out of these early games?
Just growth in all facets of the game. Obviously win. You know, we get a good start in the EDC play. You know, you could jump out 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, whatever. We'll definitely take that. Yeah, that's all I can ask for.
7-inning game counts the EDC standings, but not the 5?
Yep.
Is that the way it'll go?
The 5 will just be overall standing, not conference play.
Not conference play. So we do have the Wahpeton Huskies coming in for 5 o'clock first pitch on Monday night, and then varsity 2 games at 7 and 5. It's odd. It's a 7 and 5 inning game, and it'll be a 5 and 7. Well, 5 and 7:30. Just getting out there, final question for you, Seth, just getting these guys out there on the field, live pitching, seeing the ball off the bat, and getting a chance to play under the lights, like for the JVers. Now they had to try to judge the ball. Overall, a good experience so far?
Yeah. It was a good, for the first time being outside and competing against another team that wasn't us. You know, I can't complain. You know, obviously we're not where we want to be, but hopefully, you know, that's how worst we are, and we can just build off of that every game now. You know, that's all I can ask for, really.
It's game 1.
Yeah, exactly. And it was nice not opening game 1. You know, like originally, you know, I would have liked to compete against Davies, but if we can get a non-conference game to start out and just get our feet under us and see where we're at, I'll definitely take that any chance we can.
And like we said, the opponent that you're playing was no slouch in comps, a very good baseball team.
Yep, yeah. They were competitive. You know, they're going to be at top of the Class B. I think they got 3rd last year, and they're gearing up for a state championship. That's their motto there. So can't complain. You know, they gave us a good fight, you know, and they came out on top.
Was it Oldenbach, I think, was the lefty, and getting a chance to see a left-hander has got to be key too for you guys.
Yeah, good left-hander. He's committed to go to BSC, play baseball there. He's a good arm, very projectable. You know, I can see why colleges are looking at him. You see a lefty who's 6'5", 6'6", and throws fairly hard. He's got a lot in the tank. I think his brother plays at SDSU too.
Okay.
So he's a same build, tall, lanky lefty who throws hard.
But just again against the left-hander, because the ball comes out of the hand a little bit different, and because you don't see a lot of left-handers.
No, yeah, especially in North Dakota. You know, it's usually stock right-hander, fastball, curveball. That's usually what it is. But you know, it's not bad seeing a lefty either, because you know we got a lineup of like 9 righties. You know, so. Ideally, you'd like that, but obviously, I get it. Some of them aren't used to lefties, but we'll get there.
All right. Well, Seth, I appreciate you stopping by and chatting with us. And it was a good start to the season. Yes, a loss, but it was at least we got a game in. I don't care if it was 41 degrees. If the field's dry, you can get umpires, play a game.
Exactly.
All right, Seth, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Appreciate having me.
It is Coach Seth Soderholm from the Highlander baseball team. We'll come back and wrap things up on this edition of Coach's Corner on the Highlander Activity Network. Back here on Coach's Corner, our final segment, we always let you know what is on the horizon for the Highlander Activity Network, playsite.com, of course, on our YouTube channel as well. And again, you might be experiencing a little bit of an audio lag, but when you watch this a little later on YouTube, it'll be all synced up and in perfect harmony. But again, our next broadcast will be coming up. Games already for tomorrow. Softball has already been postponed. And, of course, track has also already been postponed, so we won't have any softball or track over the next couple of days. So our next broadcast will be baseball. We were just talking with Coach Soderholm about it. They take on the Wahpeton Huskies on Monday night. That is a 5 o'clock first pitch, and that'll be a 7-inning game, and then follow a 5-inning game. Varsity baseball, only no junior varsity on Monday night. That'll be our next broadcast here on the Highlander Activity Network. And, of course, Coach's Corner Corner also next Wednesday. We only have a few of these shows left to go as the school year is winding down. Just a couple of months left to go. And, of course, we'll also be talking track. EDC Indoor just happened this past weekend. And, again, I want to congratulate Greta Goldman setting a freshman school record. Colton Griebel setting a school record for freshmen in the 800. The 4x800 relay team setting a school record, indoor record as well. And Austin Shape, his 23.3 in the 200 finish is now fourth in school history in indoor. So congratulations to the Highlander Tracksters, and hopefully they'll get a chance to get outside. I think they're scheduled to be in Lisbon here this weekend for a track meet. Of course, that is weather permitting. But I want to thank all of our guests tonight, the Bulow family, the Gubrud family, the Marsh family, and Conklin family, talking express wrestling, and my co-host tonight, Maddy Klabo, and Abby Ingstad, the speech advisor and coach. And congratulations on their EDC championship, and good luck to them in Jamestown at the state speech meet coming up this weekend. And, of course, Seth Soderholm, our Highlander baseball coach, for joining us tonight here. And, of course, Brian Krewall was our technical director and cameraman here this evening. Another edition of Coach's Corner in the books. Again, thanks for joining us. Back again next Wednesday night, 6 o'clock. That's Coach's Corner here at the